And then Tom Aspinall, the biggest star on the card, him or Patty, right? Comes out and gets it done in 1 minute. And y'all want to be upset when last week I said this is for the real heavyweight champion of the world. Now, the narrative, the marketing from the UFC, which do your thing, the market in the UFC is Jon Jones is the best heavyweight in the world, and the better fight to make is Jon Jones versus Stipe. Let's just go over that. So Jon has one win in the heavyweight division. Before I go on this rant about Jon Aspinall, I'm not saying Jon isn't the GOAT. I'm not saying what Jon's done previously isn't unmatched, unparalleled. It's insane. He is my GOAT. Jon Jones is, I'm going to make this very clear. Jon Jones is my GOAT. Overall, he's my GOAT. He's the best light heavyweight to ever do it. He's the best fighter I've ever seen. But as of Monday, July 29th, 2024, in the heavyweight division, if you have anyone not named Tom Aspinall as your number one heavyweight walking this planet, you don't know shit. All right? You ain't shit. If you don't think Tom Aspinall, after what he's done in his last few fights, the shortest ring time, cage time we've ever fucking seen, and the way he's taking these guys out, if you don't respect that and don't think that he is the most talented heavyweight walking this earth right now, stupid. You got your blinders on. Yeah, but Jon, bro, Jon's fought once in how fucking long? But he's injured. I don't give a fuck. But look what he did to Cyril Gane. Go back and watch that fight. Go back and watch that fight and tell me Tom Aspinall wouldn't beat the fuck out of both those guys. Tell me that with a straight face. Take all your bias out of it. You watch Jon Jones' last fight against Cyril Gane, which was the perfect the easiest matchup in the world for him at heavyweight. And you watch what Tom Aspinall has done to Sergey Pavlovich, Curtis Blaydes, which are not great matchups for him, mind you. He starched both of them. Both of them. Now turn the tables. Do you think Jon Jones beats Curtis Blaydes in a minute? He's the best ever. He would do it. Really? How would he do it? Love to hear it. How's he going to beat Curtis Blaydes in a minute? Go ahead. What do you got? He's going to knock him out? No. Jon's not a knockout artist. He's not a power shot guy. He's going to take Curtis Blaydes down, national champion JUCO wrestler. You can take him down in a minute in what? Ground and pound? Nah, that's not his thing. So he's going to take him down and submit him in a minute? Might have an argument there. Be a tough takedown, right? He ain't knocking him out in a fucking minute. Sergey Pavlovich, you think he beats him faster than Tom Aspinall? Love to hear it. How's he do it? How's he do it? Yeah, but Jon against Cyril Gane. Yep, you have one example. I have many at Tom Aspinall. And at his weight class. You bring up old shit. Talking about practice. You bring up light heavyweight shit from how many years ago? And then UFC's going to try and sell me that Jon Jones, Stipe hasn't, I love Stipe. Love him. Very clear. Love Stipe. I don't want this taken from, but if we're talking about who's the baddest man on the planet, his name's Tom Aspinall. But you're going to tell me a Jon Jones who's not active, who's had one fight at heavyweight, versus a Stipe, might be the greatest heavyweight we've seen, has it? But remember, Stipe hasn't fought in 4 years. And when we did see him fight 4 years ago, he got knocked out. Those two are the best? And then we got this English lad who's 6'5", 260 pounds, not fat, fighting the contenders of the division, active heavyweight contenders, and fucking starching them. Starching them. Look at his run, dude. Look at his goddamn run. The only fight to make it out of the first round is Andrei Arlovsky. Tough character. Been there. Tough character. Tough to get out of there. He submitted him. Arlovsky doesn't get submitted. He submitted him, and he starches the rest of them. Volkov's pretty good, right? What's he on? 5-fight win streak? Yeah. He submitted him. Then he blew his knee out. But he's beating these young contenders. These guys are top of the heavyweight division. It's not even close. He wants to go to the later rounds, and he can't get there. And y'all want to argue Jon Jones is the best. The real number one is between Jon and Stipe. That's insane. That's insane. That's not true. UFC market that way, though. They have to. And then Dana goes, yeah, Tom's earned it. He's the backup for Stipe Jon. Come on, dude. Come on. Has to be a money play, right? You want to squeeze that Stipe and Jones juice out one more time. I also think Jones, and he's earned it too, and that people don't want to hear this. It's kind of like what Canelo's doing. When these guys get older, like, I'm not fighting that fucking monster. No, man. No, I'm older, man. Chill. Give me Steve. Listen, I'll fight heavyweight. Give me Cyril Gahn. He has white belt level grappling. I'll take him down, submit him. I won't get touched. I'll put on all this weight, right? I'll take him down, submit him. And then give me Stipe, and I'm out of here, dude. I'm not fighting this fucking British monster. What's wrong with you? And ruin my legacy? I get it. No one wants to talk about it. And that's what's going on. No one wants to fight Aspinall. And here's the thing. Aspinall's such a good person. And he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. He's like, Jon, I respect you. I think you're one of the greatest. I just think I'm better, man. Would love to do it. That ain't going to get him out of the fucking bed. That ain't going to do it, man. Yeah. But it's just not his thing. It's not. So UFC goes, okay, if you're not going to force our hand, we're going to make more money over here. Because the casuals know Stipe and Jon better. The older casuals, the young kids are like, who the fuck is Stipe? They don't know who he is. A lot of these young kids don't know who Jon Jones is. They found out when he was at heavyweight. That's what you're dealing with. There's no argument. It's fucking stupid to argue. There's no argument Tom Aspinall isn't the best heavyweight on the planet. It's not even close. We'll pretend, though. The package it. Jon, Stipe, Madison Square Garden. Okay. And also, those guys older, you think they both make it there? You think they're both going to get through camp flawlessly? And then Tom Aspinall, and here's the shame. Remember, you make life-changing money when not only you can't just be the champ, you got to be a defending champion. So when you win the belt the first time, you don't get pay-per-view points. In general, there's some guys that have before I get it, and you guys argue this. In general, the way the contracts work, you don't start making life-changing money till you defend that belt. So this is my issue with what they're doing with Tom Aspinall. He's the interim champ, but he won't make fuck you money until he becomes the real champ and defends it. That's a problem. Because he's beating the best guys in the world, but he's not getting paid like it. Oh, but he made $400,000. It ain't good enough. It ain't good enough. There's definitely some defensive issues I had with Tom, even though that fight only lasted a minute. I didn't like how he was leaving with his head. I was like, that heavyweight, bud. He was a little overzealous, He was leading first with his chin. I didn't like that. But again, with Jon's not a knockout artist. He can get away with that with Jon. Some of these other guys, a guy like Francis, which we'll never see, and ain't this a bitch? Ain't this the bitch for the hardcores? You're never going to see Jon Jones versus Francis. That ain't happening. Sorry, guys. You never see Jon Jones versus Francis, and most likely, if I have to bet on it, you're not going to see Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. You're never seeing either of those fights. Let that sink in. That's probably not going to happen, kids. The odds are you'll see Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira before you see Jon Jones, Tom. You see a guy that used to be a middleweight. Now he's light heavyweight. Hasn't been there long. You'll see his first fight at heavyweight against the interim champ, Tom Aspinall. Chances are Aspinall beats him, and he's still the interim heavyweight champion. I don't understand it. Who the fuck am I? UFC knows what they're doing. It just doesn't make sense. You have a star in every factor in Tom Aspinall. Then you have these two dinosaurs holding up the division. And yet you're telling the masses that this is the champ. And he's fought one guy that was the perfect matchup. Meanwhile, this savage young kid in his prime is your interim heavyweight champion. It makes no fucking sense.